was really welcome on stage. Basically, I had two options. One is that never come on stage in order to have avoid this embarrassing moment. Or second option is that you come on stage again and again and again till your fear is lost. I chose the option one. During my office days, I used to be sitting in the meeting quiet in the corner, not talking to everybody. Even during group discussions, I never raised my hand or never gave my opinion. And soon later, I found that the people who were more talkative, or the people who used to speak up during the meetings, were the ones who were noticed by other people. So then, after a few years, again, I thought whether my first option was right, and I realized it was wrong. So I went for option number two, coming on stage again and again and again in order to bring my fear. And why did this happen? In Toastmasters. Here I got an opportunity to come on stage again and again, and somehow I lost some of my fear of stage. Even the people here are very supportive, and the environment is such that people are helping you in order to grow. With that, I would like to share. We have many guests here today. I would like to share, ask them what about their feelings. So I would like to ask three questions to you. One, your name. Second, how did you come to know about us? And third is, what did you expect or what do you expect from our meeting? So starting from you.
Building and person is that I came to know about meeting in my colleagues.
And what do you expect from you?
I also have here, already said here, I have here like talking to people. I'm basically shy in here. So I want to focus on that.
So I got to know about Toastmasters through ChatGPT. Actually, I was searching for the and I have not phone beginning in a few months, so I wanted to get better at public speaking. What do I expect from Toastmasters? A little bit things from my version, because after my version, after my event, I have a lot of insight. And the first to be best to be a better speaker, to be able to be very well.
I think to know about the identity of there was a communication in I already know about but I didn't click on the mind. But when I have come here for different posts, I have somewhere it came like so naturally the public speaking your name, how did you come to know about those concepts and what to expect from you?
TLC.
Everybody might because so I wrote close to around 10 years of I see the video. Currently, I want to install the file. There I close to but I came to know from it. That's why I wanted to come here to improve my communication and I'm trying to understand how to construct my ideas and words to better to construct and create sentence. That's the most important thing.
My name is Doc. I have my classes and my improve my communication skill and use. Thank you.
My name is Ali, and I came to know about the Toastmaster club while I was listening an audible book, The Magic of Building Bridge, and I'm expecting to improve English speaking, communication skill, and leadership skill, and public speaking. Thank you. I would like to come up with my confidence. That's why I came up with the focus.
Yeah, yes. I'm an internal artist and I came to know Toastmasters Google. Okay, and I am expecting or I'm looking for people here who associate with me in my future projects.
Just for everybody's information, with us is our UP membership and you can get it certificate.
Sure, only this. My name is Rohidas. If you may connect at the end of the meeting for any more detailed information.
Before we go on to our next segment, on behalf of our area director, those persons Sangeeta Suthi will be presenting here, so I call her on the stage. Share Agnel.
How can I stand officer representing your area director, Toastmaster Joanne? She is unable to visit you today and has debuted me. I will read out to you parts of the message she has wanted to share with the club. Very inspired and proud Toastmasters Club, Agnel Toastmasters Club, she says. Communication is one of the most essential skill a person can develop, and often the formal education system ignores it. But this is your chance and place to develop it, she says. She says Agnel Toastmasters Club is one of the finest in District 98, with a legacy of nurturing exceptional speakers and leaders. The club has produced district officers, contest champions, influencers, and role models, contributing significantly to Toastmasters community. Being a part of this legacy is an honor, and I am looking forward to seeing all guests join this club and take it to greater heights, she said. Over to you, Mr. Agnel.
Next segment, I would like to call upon the person who is very energetic, who loves to dance, who is a Toastmaster with full of energy and she makes others dance. And what else? One important point I'm forgetting.
Party for party.
The person who loves to take party from others. Toastmaster Vidya.
Was time full of warmth and happiness. Pari was 11 years old. Every Sunday, her parents would take her and her younger siblings to a new garden. They would spend the day enjoying, spending time together, and then they would go out and have food. Every Sunday was special. Not just Sunday, every day was like a little picnic full of laughter and love. Everything seemed so perfect. But then, hello everyone. I'm Vidya Kuru, your Toastmaster of the day for today's meeting. Welcome you all. How many of you love stories? Imagine a world without stories, like pizza without cheese, pie without stars, Agnel meeting without Vidya. Okay, since humans first walked the earth, storytelling has been essential to our existence. Even before language was born, we have been telling stories through cave paintings, showing that storytelling has been our first language. Storytelling is crafting narratives to connect, resonate, and inspire. Like I want to inspire Toastmaster Sony and distinguished Toastmaster Avinash to give me party today. Okay, leave that. Storytelling is key to communication. But why? Why is it so? Can anyone give definition of communication? The age-old definition? Transmitting and receiving messages by people. But now communication is not just transmitting and receiving messages. It's not just passing information. It's about connection, creating meaning, building relationship, and inspiring to take action. And when we talk about storytelling, it does all of that and many more. Stories evoke our emotion and make us feel and act in ways that numbers can't. It is said that we remember stories 22 times better than simple facts. That means, obvious, storytelling is important in communication. Our tag team members are important in every Toastmasters meeting. So let's welcome our tag team members. And I would like to first invite a grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Sandhya, onto the stage. She's a data analyst with interest in financial modeling. I asked her one word to describe a great story. She said structured. That is structured stories because they have clear beginning. Thank you. Please share the details of your report.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm grammarian for today's meeting, and my role in today's meeting would be making a note of good and not so good usage of grammar. I'm also given the responsibility of introducing the word of the day, which is anecdote. So anecdote means a very short or interesting story about a person or an event. So how you can use that word during the presentation. The speaker included a humorous anecdote to illustrate this point. Apart from that, the phrase for the day is once in a blue moon. I only go to the beach once in a blue, which means very rarely I go. At the end of this meeting, I'll share my unique podcast to over to you.
Welcome to our founder of today's meeting, Toastmaster Sandeep Chowdhury. He's a global commercial analyst, passionate about AI and supply chain. I asked him what element of storytelling does he finds most powerful, the plot, the character, or the delivery. And he says delivery because it brings characters to life, making audience deeply connect and feel the story. So, over to you. Please share the details.
Thank you, Toastmasters today, Toastmasters technique. Imagine a great story, listening to a great story. Imagine listening to a great story. Only listen to, great story. And just like the storyteller keeps the audience engaged, the great speaker keeps their speech smooth and clear. That's where my role as an art counter comes in. Today, my job is to keep a track of pillar words like your soul and word in pillar sound like and repetitive phrases like I, this means. Actually, that differs our speaking. These small words can live in without us knowing. But they affect how confident and powerful we sound. Once called upon, I will present my report. Thank you and over to you.
Let's call upon the time of the today's meeting, Toastmaster G.
Toastmaster Gucci is an insurance broker and an adventure seeker by passion. What makes a story powerful? That is what I asked her. She says, story will be powerful if has a strong message, evokes emotion, and leaves a lasting. So beautiful. Please welcome to Toastmaster Gucci.
Hi, all. For me, this is the first time I'm playing this role and I'll try to do justice to this role. And in case of any mistake, please bear with me. So hi all, my fellow Toastmasters, guests. My name is Shruti and I am the timer for the day. At the time of my duty is to time, we prepare speeches, given topics and information. For prepared speeches, the time allocated varies as per the project and will be stated by the delegate. For instance, for an icebreaker, the time allocated is 4 to 6 minutes. For table topics, the time allocated is 1 to 2 minutes. For evaluation, the time allocated is 3 minutes. Speakers must meet this specified time limit to qualify for the award at the end of the speech. Considering the green card at the minimum qualifying time, yellow card at the midpoint of the qualifying time, and red card at the maximum qualifying time till the end of the speech. There is a concept of grace time as well. For prepared speeches and evaluation, the speaker has 30 seconds of grace period before the minimum qualifying time and after the maximum qualifying time. For given topics, there is a grace period of 30 seconds only after the maximum qualifying time. For speakers who continue to speak beyond the 30 seconds grace period will not be qualified for the vote. I'll report the time taken by the speakers when called upon. Thank you so much and over to you, Divya.
Hi, welcome to Toastmaster Jay. Jay is an international business development person and likes to hone his public speaking skills. I asked him who is the best storyteller he knows, and he says, considers Osho as a great storyteller as he explains complex life lessons using simple stories. I do like to listen to it. Please welcome Toastmaster Jay on the stage.
Quiz. We will be having prepared speeches. And after that, there will be panel discussion. You all are supposed to listen carefully. And the proof of it will be in the form of a quiz, so which I'll conduct. I'll ask you questions. And people, all of you will be answering it. And that is how we will do the quiz.
But then her father fell ill with a chronic lung disease, struggling for every breath. He lost his job because all his time in the treatment, all their savings went into his treatment, all their belongings they had to sell it all. Pari, at the age of 15, lost her father. The responsibility of the family came to her shoulder. She dropped out of school, did multiple jobs, and worked hard to support her mother and her two siblings so that she ensured that they continue their studies. Thanks, their flat. But then you still underestimate the power of storytelling. You still think that storytelling is just entertainment and limited to movies, books, and theater. Do you? Then let's break the theories around. Corporate storytelling. Has anyone heard about significant object study? No. This study was conducted by Rob Walker, and what he was amused by storytelling and he wanted to explore more. So what he did, he purchased 200 objects from eBay, low cost objects, The average cost was around $1. He invited storytellers, authors, writers, and asked to write stories about these objects. So now every story had an object, had a story. Every object had a story. Now what he did? Again went eBay to sell those objects. But now these objects were attached with stories. You know what was the cost that we purchased these 200 objects? Was $1.25. And we sold for $8,000. That was the difference, significant difference. And that is the power of storytelling. Corporates increasingly are using storytelling in branding, advertising, marketing. Not only that, but internal communication and leadership. Leaders are using storytelling because now it's a people-based organization. Look at that, every field, whether it's journalism, healthcare, political parties, politicians, we know powerful and popular politicians who use storytelling in their speech. Can you name a few? Narendra Modi, Barack Obama, right? Education system, they are using storytelling even in maths and history, such boring subjects. Earlier, A plus B whole square was so boring, but now it's not the same anymore. It's A plus B are best friends and going for a badminton match. So the A strength is A square, their team strength is 2AB, and B strength is B square. But why? So that students understand the concept and they remember it, and it happens through storytelling. That is the importance of storytelling, not just for entertainment. Even in entertainment business, leave everything. Personal, individual communication. We all want to be heard. You know, there's one person in life where people are surrounding him because even small incidents they share in such interesting way. It is said that 66% of the time goes in sharing stories, anecdotes, and gossips. So why not work on the skill of storytelling? Because it is so important. So with that information, let's move on to the next section, that is prepared section. And for that, I would like to call upon the first evaluator who will be evaluating the first speech, and I would like to invite distinguished Toastmaster Ron. He's an experienced Toastmaster. Works his web design company for 22 years. I asked him, what is that story that is memorable for him? So I want him to share that story himself. In 3 lines.
Thank you, everybody. Did you hear me back? The story which I sent to Vidya was a story which happened in Toastmasters Hindi. It really touched a nerve with me. This was a few years ago. One of our Toastmasters was giving an icebreaker speech for one of the guests. An icebreaker speech is the first speech a Toastmaster gives in the meeting, in the club. So it was an icebreaker speech, and this gentleman was describing his childhood. And he told this very interesting fact that he learned the alphabet from his mother sitting on the floor of the kitchen, and she would draw the alphabet in chalk. And that's how he learned to read and write. And he was so poor that they had like one small hut. But still, his mother insisted that he learn how to read and write. And with almost no facility, no this, she taught him to read and write. And that day, when he was standing there giving the icebreaker speech, he was a successful IT professional. And you know, that was like it connected with me so much. I was so grateful for all the privileges I had in life to see somebody who came from such humble backgrounds to reach such a high level. So from that story, I kind of understood never take anything for granted. There are a lot of people who haven't been given much, they do a lot of it. Right? That was the story that inspired me.
Yeah,
From our
please
own yes. Today we have the privilege of listening to Toastmaster Rohita Chitte. He is doing the path visionary communication, which is the level 2 project 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of this particular speech is for the member to share some aspect of his primary leadership style or to discuss leadership styles in general. Time of please note is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Vedas. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Welcome. First speaker for today's meeting, Toastmaster Rohidas. Toastmaster Rohidas works as a compliance business partner. His hobbies include making pencil sketches. I asked him, is there a particular moment in a story that always grabs his attention? He says, the beginning of a story. Once upon a time. So let's welcome Toastmaster Rohidas onto the stage. Take care of the beginning because he's interested only in that. Are you ready? Toastmaster Rohidas, leading through collaboration. Leading through collaboration, Toastmaster Rohidas.
The world comprises of two types of people, givers and takers. Takers always eat well, but givers are the one who always sleep well. How many of you believe that leaders are made and not born? Please raise your hand. And what about the others? See, I'll give you a quick tip for the people who are not raising their hand. Our sergeant at arms is looking at you. People who do not raise their hand are not being served samosa in the break. So, when did we hear about leaders the first time in our life? In our school, the first textbook that we received, history textbook, that spoke about our great leaders who fought for the freedom of our nation. And then later on, mid of our education, we started learning about civics, where we learned about Indian politics and Indian leaders. And slowly, gradually, when we are grown up adults, we started working for corporate firms, and there the person whom we directly report, or the person who leads the entire project, is referred as a leader for us. Now, friends, this is the time we are 18 plus. Let's introspect and find what leadership style suits us. Basically, let's first understand what exactly is the definition of leadership style. Leadership style means a property an individual possesses where his communication, his thought process, his family background, his emotional intelligence, and exactly how he takes things that determines one leadership skills. Now, why leadership skills are important? For any effective leader, if he knows his leadership skills, it becomes very easy for him to plan, organize, and go ahead and finalize the goal to meet the goal that he has set for himself. So knowing the leadership skill will help an individual to be successful in his or her life. When I joined Toastmasters initially last year, I thought I will work on my competency and develop a competent leadership style. But later on, I realized the leadership style that I possess is a collaborative leadership style. I love to connect with people. I love to speak with people. I love to work as a team. And then last year, I chose the role to be a part of executive committee. I took the role of vice president membership, where I collaborate with a lot of guests. I collaborate with the executive committee members, and that is how I am improving and developing myself. Now, before we move ahead, there is no anecdote I have today. Just a quick question for all of you. How many of you love to eat? Food lovers in the hall? Wait, lot of hands. Anyone who tried cooking? This is quite lot of hands. Presiding officer, let's plan for a master chef contest this week. There will be a lot of chefs in the hall. So, one quick recipe that comes when it comes to cooking, a primary recipe, tadka. How many of you have heard about it? All of you. Now, what happens when the process of tadka starts? The first ingredient that moves in the hot oil is mustard seeds, right? They make a sound ta 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 ta, right? The second ingredient that moves in tadka is salt. Once we add salt, it disappears. We cannot see salt. In the tadka, we can find the taste of salt and mustard seeds, but the salt is nowhere seen in the tadka. The next ingredient that we add in tadka is chili. Some people use red, some people use green chilies for the spiciness in that particular tadka. And some people use sugar in the tadka. Some Gujaratis, they mostly prefer to add sugar to all of the cuisines, except chapatis. And last but not the least, one of the ingredients that goes in tadka is turmeric. We call it haldi. Now you will be wondering why I'm talking about this tadka. How is it related to the leadership speech that I am delivering here today? Friends, each of the ingredient in tadka is different. But then you are hungry. Do you get a fist of mustard and eat it to satiate your hunger? No, right? We eat a fistful of salt? No. But a combination of the right tadka in your food satiates your hunger. You feel better. Believe me, each and every individual in this room is like the ingredient in the tadka. Some people, when given a task at the last moment, stutter like mustard seed, tat tat tat. They're not able to take that. But later on, they ensure that they complete the task. Some people are like salt. They ensure they complete the task completely, but they disappear. They don't want the credit for the task that they have done. Some people are like chili, they're very spicy. They are a little bit blunt when it comes to communication. But if a task has been given to them, which is demanding, where they want to get some permission, these people, by the spice communication, get that permission quickly. Some people are like sugar, who are very sweet, easy to go people. But if you give them a task to convince someone with their sweet communication skills, they go and bang and get the deal closed on. And last but not the least, some people are like turmeric. They come at the end, change the entire color, and take everything credit. Now, people, you'll be wondering who is the haldi in the team? No, it's not about haldi, it's about healthy combination. Whenever we talk about collaboration, it's about we all coming together, having a great combination that makes us an healthy individual. As an individual, you cannot possess the quality of mustard seed, neither a quality of salt, neither a quality of sugar. But with the combination, yes, you all can create that end flavor to your recipe of life. To conclude with a great quote that I heard from Sir Ratan Tata. If you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk long, walk together. Over to you, Toastmasters of the day.
A big round of applause for now. Let's call on the second evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Anish. Toastmaster Anish enjoys playing tennis, public speaking, and reading books. He is the Division B evaluation champion for the country. I asked him whether he prefers fiction or non-fiction stories, and he says he likes non-fiction since it's inspiring. Please very welcome.
The speaker will be conducting a panel discussion. Timer, please note, the time is 20 to 40 minutes.
Welcome, Toastmaster Amrita, who will be facilitating the panel discussion. Toastmaster Amrita. After spending years in investment banking, she is now a video trainer. She creates content to increase financial literacy in India. She was named Toastmaster of the Year 2023-24. She is an inspiration. I asked her what's her favorite story genre, and she said mystery. I asked her why, she didn't answer. That much she loves mystery. Let's welcome Toastmaster Amrita. Toastmaster Amrita, communication strategies in changing world. Communication strategies in changing world. Toastmaster Amrita.
Thank you so much for the day for the warm introduction. Am I audible? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So we have so many guests today because of open house. So I want to ask you all, do you know about what is panel discussion? Yes, no. Are you available? So basically, panel discussion is all about, I'm going to discuss one topic, like today's topic is communication strategies in changing world. And I'm going to invite panelists who is an expert in the field of public speaking. And at the end, we are going to ask few questions related to this topic. So before I'm going to move forward, I'm going to invite all the panelists. Agnel is the partner member, founder member of Fraternity Toastmasters Club. She is into Toastmasters for 7 years. And out of that 7 years, she is into leadership role for 4 years. She is into media industry for 20 years and she owns making medical acts from writer, producer, radio jockey. Who is better, for the panelists other than her. Let's welcome Toastmasters Navi. Second panelist is a champion, a strict champion, not in one contest, but almost 4 contests. It is a numerous speech contest, evaluation speech contest, table topic contest, and first runner-up in international speech contest. He conducted 200 globally, and he has an experience of 15 years in keynote speaker, personal development, and he's a founder of Training Influence. Let's welcome Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Agnel Toastmasters. Last panelist is Toastmasters. He's a early member of Agnel Toastmasters Club. He's a passionate public speaker, visual communicator, and brand strategy for 20 years of experience, and a founder member of Brand Right. Apart from that, he is a devoted husband and a proud father of a daughter. Let's welcome Toastmasters Sonu. Communication strategy to changing world. I want to ask you one question. When it comes to communication, what is the most crucial factor? Anyone? Just raise your hand.
We understood.
You understood?
Feedback.
Feedback. Anyone from this side?
Deliver your concepts to other people.
Anybody?
Deliver your concepts to other people.
Yes. And last one,
Language.
language. So basically, the key crucial factor when it comes to communication strategy, first is audience. Second is your message. And the last and most important channel of your communication, how you connect to the audience. And over the years, we have seen that the channel of communication is different. Like earlier, we used to communicate with people, but from COVID onwards, we use Zoom and Teams and other platforms communicate and also for networking. When it comes to communication strategy, building and maintaining is far more than that. And we we dig deeper into that, asking some set of questions for panelists. So our first question was Master Smita. How have communication strategies evolved over the past 2 decades?
Good evening, everyone. Okay. So, let me speak from where I come from, my media industry. 20 years back, I guess communication was mainly one way. Television, radio, print, which basically dominated. People were just taking content passively, but they couldn't interact back, right? Over the period of time, what we have seen, or I have seen, because I've been in all print, TV, as well as radio, I've seen that broadcasting to an audience is not happening anymore, but engaging with audience, that is what is happening. It has completely changed and shifted because I think social media, digital medium, as well as phones, these have now, let's say, democratized communication to an extent that it's now supposed to be faster. It is supposed to be more demanding because someone has to accept your communication, right? It's no longer you said it and you think that you said it best. Someone is swiping you left, right, scrolling you continuously and actually giving you feedback, right, on your communication. So now, yes, communication from where it was standard, static in one way, now it has become more big. It is no longer about just me speaking, but now it is about how I communicate, like not what I say, but how I say it. Facial expression, body language, everything now comes into picture and not just my voice or not just my writing. So I guess, yes, the shift is now big. That's how I think.
Yes, so the types of communication and the mode of communication in these over the time. What's your take on this?
Thank you, moderator. Madam Toastmaster has done everything. She said everything. What should I say? So I remember, not 2 decades. I'm a little older than that, so I'll go a little, earlier than that. I remember I was in 6th standard, okay, and I liked a girl, and we said, okay, I know, okay, and then how do I say good night to her, right? So we had a phone, okay, and if you receive one missed call, that means I'm saying good night to you. That was the communication that we had. Today, you can virtually, you can actually see and, understand each and everything what you want, right? Sorry. Okay, so, yeah. Toastmasters, like politics, religion, okay, I'm talking about. Okay, so when we were talking about, you have to understand that what she said, 2-way. Earlier it was that I'm speaking, okay, so my vocal variety is there, maybe my verbal communication is there, but the body language is not. But nowadays, when you see people, okay, you can actually understand each and everything. So that has changed a little bit, and it has become a much better medium. We can connect not only here but throughout the world, and it is 24/7 connection. So I believe it has changed throughout. Now, if I want to say something, I text. Because I'm not a big person on so I have not evolved that much. But today, if you see Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they have their different ways of communicating and different language in which they communicate. So it has evolved. There have been good strategies, but for me, I believe if you can use verbal and non-verbal together, then that is a proper communication, and today we are able to do that. So that is something which is good that is happening.
Yes, it was a way, safer way, communicate with your crush before 20 years back. So what's your take on this?
Do you want to talk about how to communicate with crush or?
How it is called?
No, you talk about why. Starting and taking the cue from receiving school. these days, a very important tool, the tool that we have at our hand at our disposal is WhatsApp. Now, with the easiness and with the quick communication that WhatsApp brings into our hands, there's also a danger that we all are aware of, is that it is expressionless. No matter how much emojis you use, the okay that you might type in an answer does not have the tonality of an okay that you are communicating face to face. So if, say for example, your boss asks you to complete a task over the weekend, and if you were to say okay, now the boss will pick up on an emotion that was left behind on that Friday evening when you left office. Were you happy? Were you irritated? That the ghost of that particular interaction will haunt this okay. So you need to be sure that you are not just typing in okay, but a little more so that your boss knows that this okay is not an irritated okay. It's not like okay. It's like okay. So maybe okay, I get it. Do you want it at this time? Can I send it after this because I have a engagement? So to answer the question, the way our communication techniques, human communication techniques have evolved over a period of time, from the times of the times of emojis and these two-word communication, the lots that we have lost and the lots that we have gained, it's up to us to manage and balance.
And when someone texts me capital K, I thought that person is upset with every time when it comes to WhatsApp. So now we move forward to our second question. Distinguished Master Agnel. Has the advent of social media made communication strategies difficult or easy?
I feel it has made communication difficult because we are overloaded with a lot of information. And nowadays, even stand-up comedians fear for their life because people have started taking their opinions as facts. So the change that is, it is very difficult to manage. So earlier it was okay. Okay, now my strategy as a parent, okay, is that okay, lose the stick, spoil the child. Simple strategy. My father also used it. I also continue. But now I am married a psychotherapist. Right? Now she said you have to rationalize with your child. Okay. So there has been a lot of things which are changing, and I see that there are sometimes where when my son says, why, why, I say because I said. Okay, because there is a limit. So what happens is when there is too much of something, okay, every day so much, right? Because people have graduated from that and they feel that they are entitled, and in COVID there were so many nice things, okay, which came out as cures. Okay, so communication in the right way is now becoming a challenge because there are so many opinions which are running around as facts. The only thing which we can do is we will have to question. Okay? And that is something I believe it can, as Toastmaster Sony also said, that we have to have that balance. How to bring that balance? We are still struggling with it. So I believe that is something I feel that overload of information has made us. Now I'm watching TV, I'm scrolling my phone. Even in the meeting, I was, so engrossed. Someone messaged, and I want to message back right now. Okay, my wife is speaking to me. I am texting. So now the communication is not happening because there are so many things. We are so occupied and distracted. So that is why I feel that it is too much, and we'll have to find a way out.
And the term called nowadays is informational diarrhea. That's what it is. it says, what's your take on this? First of all?
Now, if I have to give my opinion on this advent of social media and this widespread democratization of voicing out their opinions, there is one thing that we have to notice and learn the way this thing is happening. So look at the way in a democracy like our country, look at the way the political parties are communicating. They all have their strategy of how to capture our fears and our dreams. They are very quick to tell us who is the us and who is the they. Very easily being based on our own biases, our own fears, we fall victim to that kind of communication. Now, is this effective communication? Yes, from the people who are communicating. How do we save ourselves from falling victim? I think the answer lies in rational. Like he said, question every time a WhatsApp university forward comes and hits your screen. Do not accept it or take it as it is. Use your own mind. Do not be sheep. I think one thing that we need to cover for ourselves is to make sure that we do not fall victim to the tool that was invented to make communication easier for us.
And we don't have resources nowadays to check all the facts online. So that's also a question. What's your take on this?
You are talking about political parties helping us to realize whether we are us or they, but the new generation is identifying themselves as us or they, and as dinosaur and everything. They no longer he should. So communication has been pulled to such an extent that at times can't fathom what has happened to me. Because when I first came to know that now people can be called they, and then I was wondering, my grammar teacher was turning around at first grade. And if, can I be it? Right? I say this communication has been, it's now very fragmented. Like we said, yes, we cannot believe what's at university and everything, but it's very important for us to educate ourselves. Be in groups and or friends or whatever who are more like-minded, where you can bounce of ideas. Because I personally believe that I can't have all the knowledge. I need to take from him, I need to take from him what they are saying. So if you be in a place like that, which is this room right now, where we come from all places, I think we end up understanding better and to be nicer to know what to believe and what. So well, if you typically ask me, social media made communication difficult or easier, I would say it has only made it faster. Nothing else but faster. The question is, can you keep up? And how are you going to? But yes, use your brain and keep enhancing it by being in the right place and being
Being logical at the end of the day. So last question for today, Toastmaster Solution. How does Toastmaster help us to build an effective communication strategy?
Very good question. Thank you for asking this. Now, we all are here in this room, sitting, because there is something we think this room will help us to achieve. And most of us, we need a certain amount of push from like-minded people like what you say to help us come to the stage, stand, and express ourselves. I joined this club in the year 2013. And for the first 6 months, I was scared to come and stand here and talk. I remember senior members like Ron encouraging me to come over. And on the day when I stood here and I completely lost that fear and I could express myself, he said, Sony, you have crossed the Rubicon. And if you do not know what that is, go Google it because that's exactly what he told me when I asked him what he mean by Toastmaster. Toastmaster does that. There's this thing called fear, which is stopping yourself from expressing yourself. And there are very many ways and methods that Toastmasters will teach you to overcome. That's what this forum does.
Yes, you have to show up again and again, and that's what Toastmaster is. What's your take on this Toastmaster thing?
It's a beautiful place where you get to learn the art of living.
Can you be calm?
Can you hear me? You can see me, I know. I guess it's a beautiful place to basically learn the art of influence, because at many times when you come here, I know I'm getting better and better. Why? Because I speak, someone gives me feedback, I adapt, I come back. It's a repeat that keeps me coming back to the meeting again and again and again. And there was in one of our regular meetings, there was one guest who came in and he changed the entire perspective of the club members. Because when he was asked for a feedback at the end of the meeting, how did you like it? He actually brought to our notice that I've never seen a place where so many people are involved in making one person better. Because we have 5 dedicated persons to one speaker. We have a timer, timing the person, our counter, checking their pillars, grammarian, checking their language, and we have a dedicated evaluator as well, and there is a general evaluator which will tell you. So many people personally supporting one person, and you have audience who's always clapping and appreciating and motivating them. So this is a move where each one, whether we are here facing the audience or you're in audience, all have to pat yourself on your back because you today, by just coming to the meeting, have added value to this one speaker standing here. Whether helping me to get over my fear, teaching me how to speak better. There is no place like this. So Toastmaster basically helps to keep improving your community. Feedback over here is the key ingredient that we get in faith. And I think the world is evolving, changing. It's nothing to stop that. What we are not looking for perfect speakers. We are looking for speakers who can adapt. And adaptable speakers is what Toastmasters bring. I guess brilliant space to begin. You want to keep improving application.
Yes, indeed. And when you messed up, then also people will come and tell you and encourage you to go for next speech. That's the beauty of Toastmaster. And last from our feedback master evaluation champion, distinguished Toastmaster.
I remember Amitabh Bachchan from Mohabbat, परंपरा प्रतिष्ठा अनुशासन, right? गुरुकुल के 3 स्तंभ हैं, हमारे 4 हैं. We have 4: integrity, respect, service, excellence. Okay. First of all, we inculcate the value aspect. Then we say that refrain. It's not a taboo topic, but you refrain from sex, politics, religion, because these topics bring out a lot of emotions, and sometimes there can be conflicts. Okay, so you need a safe space to practice. Once you are a champion over here, go out and then talk about sex, politics, religion. No one can stop you, and you will be better equipped. So that is the structure that Toastmaster first of all provides. Then it caters to all the 4 aspects: LSRWIC, listening, speaking, reading, writing. Okay, so if you focus, you will be able to craft good speeches. Okay, people say that, do you craft a speech word by word? Yes, because it helps me reflect. It helps me give a structure. Okay, because I may know certain words, okay, in writing, but not in speaking. It has not come into my vocabulary. So it is very important. Then the best part is that today I was talking to my son. He doesn't like to write. He doesn't like to write. And all his book is question mark, late submission. Okay, and we are tired. And he's like, Papa, by evening everything will be complete. super confident. I said the problem is not that. Okay. Thinking about doing something is not doing. Making a strategy about doing it is not doing. Having all the steps planned about doing it is not doing. Okay. In the same way, thinking about speaking is not speaking. Making strategies, how will you come and do is not speaking. Coming here. Once you come here, I take campus to corporate trainings where freshers come, okay, and I train them on communication. They start with day one, okay. I make them come at least thrice a day. After 6 days are 18 times they have come on stage, and they say that, oh, my stage here is hot. What did you do, sir? Nothing. So that's what Toastmaster provides. Come on stage. Okay? People, and I remember our distinguished Toastmaster, brilliant. What those 4 people will say, चार लोग क्या कहेंगे? Who is thinking? People judge. Okay? So in Toastmasters, there are a lot of things which make a good speaker, right? So if you follow, you will become a great speaker, okay? And you just have to, but staying and being a part and a club member and just listening will not help. Be active, and then you will see the progress, okay? And today it is like in the reels they say, I learned this in 10 years, but I will tell you in 10 seconds. I will tell you in 10 seconds, but you will take again 10 years to. Okay, so that is the difference. Please don't fall for that. It takes gestation period. Will you become a good speaker? Yes. Will you become a great speaker? 10 years. Anupam Kher, I did acting from Anupam Kher's school. He said, if you want to be a star, wear goggle at night. People will say, oh, Raat ko goggle, he must be a star. But if you want to be an actor, you will have to give 20 years. So if you want to be a good speaker, you will have to give time and comments. And that's what Toastmaster provides. And it is a fantastic. This is my 9th year and I'm a Toastmaster for life. And I'm very sure for most of the veterans who are here. That's what I think about it.
So for all the guests who are here and also for the very, very new members, if you can see this is your opportunity. There are 8 opportunities available. The daily topics master will explain what exactly this is going to be. But make sure that if you have spent your time traveling from wherever you stay to this place, and if you're going to spend the rest of the time, or if you're not going to scoot after the samosa and the chai, make sure that you are the ones who will fill these empty places. I am looking forward to that. And you will realize what it is when you come from this speech.
And consistency that he basically, you have to come again and again, become good speaker. That's the thing. I have to ask you the question and you have to answer one. So, DDS distribution of Avinash, evaluation of speeches. Leadership or communication, Toastmasters meeting leadership. Movie with wife or Toastmasters meeting.
Movie with wife.
Yeah. I need to share also. Every family.
So now the photo for 20. If yes, and the Toastmaster have some questions they can ask for panelists. Yes. My question is Toastmaster. She has spoken about how communication is not about broadcasting but engaging with the audience. Now, as a brand or a person, when I am communicating, what is the paradigm shift needed from my side to be able to? How do I not broadcast and engage? What is the shift needed in my side? So, actually, I have read this somewhere, but I also realized that I was also teaching this for a very long time, even though somebody else was very well. I don't expect this, but I'm going to say this. Whether you like it or not, as a community, always being judged. You're being judged 10 feet away for how you're dressed. You will be judged 10 meters away for the facial expression you're carrying. And then you will be judged for the first 10 words that come out of your mouth. So 10, 10, 10. When you want to engage anyone, even if it is one-on-one, I stand on stage, I have to take the energy from here to understand, are they going to listen to me in the first place? What is it that I need to do? Whether I start with a joke or say something absolutely absurd or simply just say something and just pause. See everyone's head come up in baat karne ki padhati. And then you start again. That's another way of getting it. So I guess engaging with audience is about understanding what they want. And you get to understand that only in close proximity, the more and more you engage with people and speak to all ages. Because the way we speak to a child is different from the way we speak to an elderly person. Speak to everybody, take cues and remember that what works. Read other people's expression. Actually have what they will be giving also. So I guess that's the best way to engage. Show them what you want to receive back and give them what you are getting also. Learn quickly, adapt quickly. Only way to do that, how you consistently, you know how they are reacting to you and keep applying. By answer.
Very well said, Professor Kulina. Next question.
My question is basically, we are getting so much information, we are not able to process that. What is right or wrong? Before understanding what is right, I'm getting new aspect for that question, for that topic. That's why I'm not even justified which is right or which is wrong. That's why now you are saying that that's your take on this, like it's started to change my perspective for that thing, topic or how we value. So how I have to make that shift in my perspective or how I think about it. How to discontinue myself from that thinking. What should I do?
If I get your question right, you are, let me know if I got it right. You are perhaps asking how to make sure that the ideas that I'm expressing it clearly without other ideas overlapping while I'm talking about the first idea. Is that what it like that?
So what information I'm getting is right or wrong.
And how to know whether what I am relaying out is factually right or wrong. So, in my opinion, whenever you are communicating with somebody, you will not be able to communicate each and every thought that is coming in. Because the mind is infinite, so is the knowledge, facts around you, and opinions around you. So one thing that what I generally do when I'm, so there's this thing that I'm talking about. It's a 2-minute speech that you're supposed to talk. Sorry, word is the thinking of it conflict, for stealing your thunder. It's a 2-minute speech where which you on a topic which you are hearing for the first time when you come in. Okay. Now you haven't prepared yourself with anything. You have limited amount of knowledge of what you are going to say. There are times when those topics are right, something that is up your alley, and you are able to express. But even then, there's only that many amount of data that you will be able to communicate. So be at peace with yourself that you will not be able to express it. Then make sure that you are thinking about that aspect which is coming first into your mind. Let that get out of your mind and express it clearly. So the focus should not be on stuffing your communication with a lot of data, rather express it, whatever is coming into your mind, to the best format that somebody else understands it, the way you want them to understand, rather than they forming their own different understanding. Focus on that first, everything else will follow. That's my advice.
Thank you, Toastmasters. And one last question.
Just to show that in the college where you were in a training phase where you help some students to come on the stage, and after few sessions they realized that the fear has really decreased. So, because this is a question I received from most of the guests, is there any time frame or number of times one has to be on the stage, or how do you justify this crowd? I mean, I know it's very generic question, but still, like any thoughts that you could help us understand.
See, I cannot tell you the exact time per person because everyone is different. Okay, so it doesn't matter, for someone, even coming 3 times will do the trick. For someone, it might take 10 times, right? So it is really subjective, but I feel that till you are out of it, keep coming. And once you are out of it, then the people have to stop you. Please don't come, let others also speak, right? Because once you have it, oh, now I can speak, you will go on and on. So I believe it depends on you, how exactly you feel after 2 times, 3 times, 5 times. If you are good, keep coming. It's the point that the apprehension has gone. Then you don't have to focus on the stage fear. Then you can focus on how can I create a good speech? How can I work on my structure? How can I work on my delivery? Okay, how can I impact people, engage people? All those things will question. All those questions will come later. First, deal with the fear. So come here, even if you are, as he said, even if you don't know whatever comes to your mind. Life is like an ice cream. You don't know about life, talk about ice cream. But talk, come and talk. That's the thing. Ms. Sai, can I add to that?
Yes.
So the first thing that you need to realize is that do not define yourself as an actor. Because really, you cannot be defined as anything. You are fluid, you are like water, no, whichever tumbler, whichever glass, whichever vessel you are poured into, you take the shape of that. That is what exactly you is. So first thing first, do not define yourself. So मैं तो मुझे तो डर लगता है लोगों के सामने बात करने. So stop defining yourself using negative phrases. Second thing, get comfortable with people staring at you. I think that's one thing that I tell my mentees is that whenever you come into the room for the first time, do not worry what's going on. Come and stand on the stage and just look at people. Maybe the meeting hasn't started, so it's a good idea to come a little early because so that you're not disturbing the process. Stand and just look at the configuration of this room, look at how the tables are being laid out, look at a few people who are sitting and waiting. People, some of them are biting their nails, some of them are, completely confident. Just look at them and allow them to look at you. That's the absolute first psychological trick that you have to play to fool your mind that everything is under.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters, for me. Last of the fear, which is the fear of public speaking. So what you can do, like we have nurses, you have to come again and again. Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And then you come up with some people face on your blush on your face that I messed up. But there are people who encourage you every time. And that happening was last of me. Because I have working corporate also, so I said that. So you have to come again and again, and when it comes to the communication strategy, always work on your verbal as well as non-verbal communication like Toastmasters does it. And when it comes to the changing time, like Toastmasters only said that WhatsApp, university, and all the social media platforms give you too much of information. At the end of the day, you have to be logical, you have to be rational. And that's what our today's panel discussion comes to an end. Our panelists will be there in the break, so you can connect after this session also. And thank you so much, distribution for Ramina, thank you so much for the wonderful audience here and who did the master video. Hitler.
Topic, right? So apt. Thank you, Toastmaster Amrita, for that. And thank you all the panel for such beautiful insights and also for being part of my team with her team, with the beautiful stories and anecdotes that you shared to inspire everyone here. And that is what storytelling is. With the stories, you inspire others. And that you all want, right? So, but then, through a relentless determination and hard work, their financial conditions started to improve. Pari was able to secure a permanent position at one of the jobs. Thanks to her dedication, she got multiple promotions with increased salary. With her hard-earned money, she was able to finance her younger siblings' higher education. One was in law, the other engineer. Their times were changing, their lives were turning around. So he was about to buy a house. Now we all know storytelling is so important, right? We all learned that. Now we should talk about the techniques of effective storytelling. So I would like to know if you have some inputs. Effective storytelling, how can we ensure that there is effective storytelling? Any inputs in one or two words? Yeah, please.
Emotion.
Motion. Can you explain that in few, what do you mean by that?
Whatever we are inspiring in the story doesn't have emotion. We practically say or it will not have that much impact to the audience.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Relatable.
Sorry,
Relatable.
relatable, very good.
Problem.
Problem, there should be a problem in the story, yes.
Bond.
Huh?
Bond.
Moral, yeah, exactly. There should be a lesson takeaway. Wonderful. You have already said all my points that I want to share now. Okay, let's go ahead. The points that I have. First, let's start with a strong hook. Grab attention immediately with a captivating opening, either with a question, vivid description, or a surprise. Now, I can give examples only of two movies, Hindi movies. Bahubali, the beginning. The start is a woman holding a baby and fighting with the water. Such a captivating start, right? You remember any other movie with such captivating start? If you remember something that you can relate with any movie or any other stories, you can please share. The second is focus on a central theme. A strong central theme allows direction and purpose to a story. What example can I give? Rang De Basanti, what was the central theme? Youth awareness to social and political issues, right? Show, don't tell. What does that mean? Use vivid description to paint the picture in the listener's mind. Okay, awaken the senses. A movie that can relate to this, Lagan. They didn't just describe the problem, they showed it. Scorching sun, dry fields, the law system. Any other movie? Structure your story. That means, like a speech, there should be structure in your story as well. Opening, that is start of the scene. Middle, So there's a problem or conflict. Okay, and end with the takeaway. Structure your story and it will be more memorable. Any movie that comes to your mind? Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. The start is we are introduced to the character, they're on a road trip, and then their adventure, their problems, insecurities, that is the middle. And what is the end? They learn new perspective, they bond among each other. That is the structure there, right? Have a problem or conflict. A simple story, like they met, they fell in love, and they got married. First of all, practically also not possible that there's no problem. But in a story also, if you want to make it memorable, have some conflict to make it interesting. And there is conflict. Sorry?
Marriage itself.
Itself is a conflict. Yes. So, and then resolve that conflict. That will make story memorable. Another is incorporate emotions. Stories that evoke emotions like sadness, happiness, fear are memorable. Can you think about a movie with all the emotions? I will talk about yes, Sholay, Bhagwan, yes, KGF, no. Kalpana ho, laughter, love, heartbreak, Anand, movie Anand, right? No. Okay, we understood your emotions. Now, for the remaining set of techniques, let's come back after a bit. But I would like to inform that the next session is table topics. And we know, guests know now what is table topics. So this is your opportunity. So don't go during the break. And as distinguished Toastmaster Avinash said, come here, please. So next session after break would be table topics. So the break would be for 10 minutes. So let's come within 10 minutes. Okay, I'm bad at calculations. I'll tell when we go there. So let's break for a break.
That's right. What is there?
I'll tell you those about
थैंक गॉड अभी वैल्यू तो नहीं इतने ज्यादा नहीं होती, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, ऐसे बोलो कि सुनना काम नहीं आएगा यार, 15 मिनट के इवैल्यूएशन है, देखिए सब से खिलाओ पकड़ के खाओ।
वैसे क्या आपने? ये ना ये यहाँ पे है ये काउंटर नहीं यूज करना नहीं यू है ये ऑन कर ऑन कर
ये कौन भी है?
नहीं बोला आपसे से बोला
मैंने बोला एक के बारे में लोग मैंने पीछा भी है, इतना लंबा एड्रेस दिया तो कुछ टेक के बारे में मुझे ऐसा समझ नहीं है। इस काम इसी को चल नहीं था,
कैसे मना किया होते
मेरे को नहीं
जाता हूँ
ये सुझाव का मन मैंने बोला सीखा है लिखने में इतनी स्पीड का बढ़ा दिया है।
अच्छा हाँ और क्या है नहीं नहीं just ensure that it works right now afterwards then table top क्या किया हाँ चालू करूँगा
चलेगा मतलब चल रहा है ना अभी?
देखिए
ठीक है, मतलब 4 ही स्लाइड है, 4 ही है ना, आगे का तो मैं ऐसे ही देने
हाँ
वाली
चलो
ठीक है। थैंक यू।
बंद कर देते हैं F5 अच्छा ऑफ किया ओके ऑफ नहीं किया ऑफ कैसे करूँगा इससे ऑफ करना पड़ेगा ना नहीं हम मदद कर लेते हैं हाँ 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 कुछ आने के बाद वही वही से थैंक यू अरे नो हाँ ये इंटरनेट का नो बट यू हाँ राइट
Party from those who are coming late. Okay, that's party. Or coming late. I guess that. So, this image was such an organization. But then,
I'll give party, you give bill.
I'll give it to someone. Okay, let's start. One day, while Pari's mother was out buying groceries, she met with a terrible accident that injured her back, and she was left bedridden. They were just getting their life improved, and now Pari is struggling between her demanding job and caring for her mother. And her siblings, for whom she sacrificed so much, they were lost in their own world. They didn't bother. They were busy building their own career. With no support, Pari was struggling to balance everything. And her worst fear came true. That is, she lost. Let's continue with the techniques of storytelling. Last we spoke about incorporating emotions. Another important aspect is not just incorporating emotions, but expressing emotions. And when we express the emotions, characters come to life. And the audience will also feel the emotion that you want to deliver. Right? Can we think about a movie? I'll talk about my favorite movie. And that is Dil Wale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. Why? All the emotions. When Kajol says, "Babuji, ek baar kare do, mujhe life last time jeene do." And then her mother says, "Hug just different, mujhe yahan koi nahi samajhne wala." And Babuji says, "Cha different, cha ji le apni life. Isse zyada mujhe koi pyar nahi." So beautifully expressing all the emotions. Add dialogues. Dialogues add dynamics to story and makes it memorable. Can we think about a movie with dialogues? Beautiful dialogues? Sholay. Any other?
Diva.
Which one?
Diva.
Diva. I'm
Diva.
not-
Diva.
Diva. Okay, great. Any other? Namakala. Okay. Mohabbatein. Okay. Yes, oh God, so many words. Oh, my favorite, one of my favorite. Use repetition for emphasis. We'll ask Toastmasters Sunita to say one dialogue from that movie later on. Use repetition for emphasis. Repeating key phrases and ideas make them vivid in the memory of the audience. Can we think about a movie? All is there. Wow. 2 October. 70 minutes in Chakde, India. So we remember it because it is repeatedly being said. And with a meaningful lesson. So there should be a takeaway for the audience. A movie with a lesson, beautiful lesson. 3 Idiots. 3 Idiots. Sorry? Ah, yeah, so correct. Okay, include a twist, a suspense to make it more memorable. Andhadhun accent, very true. Yeah. Any other movie with twist, suspenses? Yes. Huh? Kahani, yes. Janaganaman. Beautiful. Finally, practice and adapt. Try to find out what are the kind of volumes that you are having and accordingly adapt. And the best next thing is practice. So let's practice some storytelling, some features in our next session, and that is table topics. So let's welcome our table topic master for today's meeting, Toastmaster Rashmi. Working with a reinsurance broker, she loves spending time with herself. Wow. I asked her what makes a story unforgettable. She says the connect they build with the characters in the story makes it unforgettable. Thank you for that answer. And over to you, Stephen Tawatamasan.
Good evening, everyone. All have good tea and samosa. Thank you, panelists, for setting the stage about table topics. A lot is expected out of this segment. So, what is table topics? Table topics is basically helps us with improvisation, right? It helps us with very, very core basic skills of communication. Thinking, organizing, improvisation, and delivery, right? This segment will hopefully help all of us in improvisation and thinking on our feet. When we talk about impromptu speaking, which is talking immediately, do you know one speech which is lauded of all the impromptu speeches? The most popular, and when you talk about impromptu speech, when you put on Google, impromptu speech, that's 1, 2, 3 lines which will always come up. I'll read the excerpts from that speech in case if anyone can guess. I have a dream that Martin Luther King in the 20th century was addressing a crowd, and someone from the crowd said, "Please speak about dream." And there he came about with these 2, 3 sentences which changed the nation. He said that I have a dream that one day the child of this nation will not be recognized by the skin of the color, but by the content of his character. Right? So that's what the power of impromptu speech has. Today, the topics I have for you will hopefully help you improvise your speaking skills, improvise on your communication skills. As we all know that Toastmasters tries to give an opportunity to an extended member of the audience. It is not only for the members of Toastmasters, but even the guests who will participate in this session. So I hope everyone gives it a shot. Before we go to the segment, how it will be, I would just want to recap the timing of the Toastmasters. You will have to speak for minimum 1 minute and maximum 2 minutes. There will be a 30 minutes grace period. 30 seconds grace period. 30 seconds grace period for each of the discussion. Okay. So with this, we start with Toastmasters, the take a topic segment. So anyone who willingly volunteers to come on the stage, yes, please. You are the guest. So that's Toastmaster Prasad, can you have? So we start with a very simple one, if you volunteer for this. So the first topic for you is, what will be your 3 wishes if there is a genie out of the magic lamp? What will be your 3 wishes if a genie comes out of the magic lamp? Toastmaster.
Good evening, Toastmasters and the legendary ones, and the guests. I would like to thank you all for this opportunity to come over this stage and give a speech. First of all, I would want you guys to clap for me to be fearless and stand over here to actually give a speech. But yeah, thank you for this topic given by the Toastmaster. So 3 missions. I have more than that, but the first important wish would be obviously to stop the war which is going on at this point in time. You know, we are heading towards World War III, which is I wouldn't say inevitable, but yes, we see that happening, right? A lot of people dying because of this war, especially in Gaza. It is pretty deep for that matter. So if it is in my hands, I would try to ensure that this war stops immediately. People are in peace. That's all. Okay. Second wish would be food and water. Very, very important. There are a lot of people in this planet Earth who are without food and water, right? Because the poor are becoming poorer and the rich are becoming richer day by day. One biggest reason is people have lost humanity and humility. So I would want to bring in a change where food and water becomes priority, becomes it's distributed for all, in common for that matter, right? My third wish would be bring change in education, especially in India. I've seen a lot going on in countries like China, Japan, where children are getting opportunity to learn robotics, AI, right from grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In India, of course, our education is great, no doubt about it, but then we can always better this up by bringing in change, by bringing in more, practical vision towards education for children. Because the world is changing, evolving, and I think we need to bring in this change. This is what I think.
Can I have the next volunteer, please? Can I have volunteer, please? Winning the topic is social media. You have to talk about social media's benefits for 1 minute. And maybe the timer will signal you, and for the next 1 minute, you will talk about the disadvantage. That's a good number. And Toastmasters Winning, social media, Toastmasters.
So, coming to social media, right? The way we communicate has changed since approx of 2007, 2008, since Facebook launched, right? And we came down to this new kind of communication where now we send something to someone and we get an instant response, right? So that instant response itself is one of the best things about social media, but that is also has the latter side of it, right? So now with social media, what are the advantages that we get? People with similar mindset can easily form groups, not found by the not found by the geolocation they are in, right? They can be anywhere in the world, and they can become a group and they can share their learning. They can also do a lot of utility things. Like one very good example of social media is the group called Planet Tactics, right? Without any alternative, people just by using social media are able to find facts for themselves. They are able to find the traffic. So that is one of the most useful things of social media, which is being able to communicate and form groups and build that connection digitally without any kind of barriers in terms of your physical location. Coming down to the disadvantages of social media. The advantage that we heard with this in this response is the disadvantage as well. A lot of knowledge that is not fact checked, a lot of knowledge that is just someone's opinion gets spread. Anything that might not be true, but might be something that people still want to go ahead and people relate to it, really get shared it, verify it, and that in a way causes a bigger problem at times, right? So this is how I look at social media in overall sense. Now, another problem that we should be facing is with all the AI models coming in, we'll be seeing people talk things which they haven't really spoken at all. So we'll be seeing real life videos of people, right? And another thing that will be happening with this is the bank verifications that are right now happening, just that basically you need to record a video and send it out, right? As that this is the who is the actual person. That is going to, in a way, get pondered because it is no longer valid. But we do not have a solution to this on the time level of it will go. Thank you, everyone.
Can we have the next volunteer, please? Freedom, we will show you one slide. You will have to talk about it. Okay. And the picture is what comes to your mind when you see this?
Thank you to everybody for giving the opportunity to talk on the stage. And this picture has a two perspectives, depending on the perspective of what the people. For someone who is very adventurous, for him, it can be a very curious place to see what is there in that castle. What is so what is that night also is burning light. What is showing that importance of? You want to understand from that angle. So what is going on, how which are other people living there. I think treasure, more treasure is actually in the child. So I get treasure can go or I can get other things, artifacts which can be beneficial for me, for which can be understand, which can like a solo. Because currently you see people are buying artifacts and selling it because there's a huge demand for that. That's another thing. Other thing, other people will this other person who doesn't a fear of darkness, they will fear I should not go there because there are some haunted places. I might not alive it. I will not survive that place. So these are the things that happen. So depending on the person who is visiting that place or who is seeing that, if I'm having good emotion or good past experience regarding that on the like dark place or castles, so I will have a positive aspect on this. If something is a negative, I have experience in my life, then it shows me negative experience. So depending on the person's perspective on how he has seen his emotions or his experiences to this and what he has learned from it, because all the that uses the that will be making the thing how the picture looks like. Okay, they would say pictures speech were like louder than words. That's one. Thank you.
Can we please have it? Books versus podcast? Yes. So, hi everyone, good evening. So books versus podcasts. Now books have been here for a really long time now, you know. Since our ancient times, there have been sort of, I would say, manuscripts are, have been there to spread information. Now, when we say podcasts, what comes to our mind? Those people sitting there and giving how do I say self guide sort of talk. I think that's what actually comes to my mind. But now I personally love books. I would actually prefer books over podcasts any day because I love to read. Now I mainly like to read fiction books. And especially the genre of fantasy, thriller, and mystery. But for some people, podcasts or audiobooks would also be helpful. Why? I'm sort of traveling in a train sequence, and then and I think staying here, all of us have seen the locals here. It's just crowded, especially in office times. It's really crowded. At that time, I can put in my headphones or my earphones and then just listen to a podcast. I personally read books at that point in time. Can I now? Now I will talk about my favorite books. So one is the Alchemist by Paula. Calling you, I mean, Cool. Right. So I actually read that book twice. First time I didn't really get what was it. I was like, this is such a bland story. But the second time I read it 2 years later, and I could actually understand what was meaning. So I think I would like to conclude by saying that the message of that book was to actually get out of your comfort zone and to discover and see places and things and perspectives. So that's it. Thank you. That means we have the next picture. You will have to talk about it in a few seconds or a story that you can. Okay, so yes, yes.
So it's a wonderful picture that gives a scenery in the picture season. But apart from that season, what I focus on this is to deep of this theme is get into a state of peace and in a state of stress-free environment. So when we have, we can see the beauty of the water, beauty of the leaves, which comes in the spring season. So if somebody imagines if somebody is sitting in that seat and completely focusing on this beauty of this environment and focusing on his own happiness, more just getting into a state of meditation. So he will get into a state of peace, and that is what is the most important part of our life. So it is not just we have to go into a workplace and work, keep all this stuff, and come into our home and look into the TV or social media. But we have to also engage with the nature. So this picture will totally relate with engaging with the nature, which is what the modern cities are. It is lacking very much. People are not getting that much time into that, but we have to take time to get into closer into the nature. Thank you.
Next topic, I would need two members and one list. Two members and one list. Move on. I have the entire body. Yes, please. Another. Can we have, Navi, So, I would start with Sandhya. So basically in this topic, I would give you a beginning of the story. Okay, and then you will have to build a story. Sandhya would build a story, she would leave it where Lily would start the story. And where Lily stops the story, shares portion will begin the story. Okay. Yeah, I was my in the beginning, that yeah, we behave So the beginning of the story is, if you are reading this, then I must be there. If you are reading this, I must be there. Last night I was reading one book. It was all related to food, and it said it was a real estate Kolkata. The story which I read, that was like horrifying. I don't want to remember about it. So the story was related to a ghost, a lady entering a hostel where she used to scare people. She used to scare the shit out of them, and then all the people in those in that hostel, they really got scared, and one fine day they just left that hostel, and it was over to you.
So, but one daring female decided that she's going to go and stay in that hostel all alone the night, even though there were no other residents. So she goes and she picks up a room for herself because the entire hostel was empty. So this particular room that she stays in, suddenly in the middle of the night, when she hears this noise, chun, chun, chun. She wakes up and she's looking around to figure out who is it, what is it, and she sees the shadow who passed her door. She decides like all brave, and she decides to follow her. And she goes behind her shadow to see where that and obviously she's very white. She follows the lady. Then the lady is singing some Lee song, which she can't really make out. And then she goes outside the hostel. She goes on top of a mountain. This lady is following her. And when she moves on to the mountain, suddenly she slips and she falls. When she falls and she wakes up, suddenly there is one handsome gentleman standing next to her. Okay, and he tries to help her out and say, what happened? What are you doing in the middle of the night? And then she realizes that he This water and you can ask her, what's wrong? How did you give up this mountain? You admit her to a hospital. And over there, she tells him that I was following this ghost who was wearing a white sari. There was a hostel wherein there were students, but some inside, and there were all sorts of stories around what must have happened to that girl, which is why the hostel, everybody from the hostel left. And then she looks into the eyes of that guy, and that boy looks at her and tells her, why do you think you will do this?
That was a twist in the topic, segment. Can we have the next volunteer, please, as long as you inform me? Yeah, again, this is the name that we have to, you will have to talk about it, what comes to your mind, or a story that's around it. Yeah.
Come in the mind is the reality of past times, like the previous education system, where teachers used to like threaten the student to learn something. So this was that all the students are studying and the teacher this is like threatening the other students. They are being kind of mischief and they are threatening the students to study. So this is not the right way. The right way which is like not have properly not have properly came out in today's time, but it is like developing nowadays. And the thing is, very nervous with the things, like they bring out the less productivity out of them. There should be a psychological thing which comes at every student. Like I am a student, so if anyone comes to me and say, you have to do that, you have to do this, you can't do it. The productivity comes out very less. Like you are at a very pressure and the mental peace, which is the main topic of the Gen Z. The thing is mental peace. I know it's a big word to say, but it is kind of very much trending in Gen Z generation. That is mental peace. I actually don't know the meaning of mental peace, but it's just that everyone is calling, so we are calling it mental peace. Actually, we don't know the meaning. Mentally term, which is mental peace. We consider mental peace. बहुत pressure studies का. I'm not getting any relationship issues. Any relationship. We have mental peace. We are overthinking. This is also mental peace. But actually, it is not the term to use in a layman term. It is bigger term. The mental peace. It's a bigger term. There's a study. There is a study, psychology study of the human mind, which is a very big study. To conclude that, to raise a student or a child, you need a productive time and the way of convincing people that it is not the thing. You should do it in a manner. Thank you.
If there are three values, moral values, or any values, you wouldn't give up for anything. what is the three things that you wouldn't the value, right? That you wouldn't give a friend? And whether they are, are they black and white or are they perfect? So the reason why I started thinking about this is, not like a war, might have read about it. So have you read about Mahabharata from different perspectives from different authors? For example, there is perspective from Karna's perspective, then you have Draupadi's perspective, you have Duryodhana's perspective as well. When you read about those things and when you read the whole context that happens in them, when you read about the activities in their, how they perceive morality and principles, that's when you realize that can you really say that models are operating? I mean, it cannot change the context or the situations. So what I feel is they will change with situations, with context. It will depend upon how your race, will environment your race, will social and cultural background you've lived in. So if you ask me, models right now, I can't give out any honestly, but this is my idea about it. Thank you. Everyone for your participation in this segment. I hope everyone has found value out of this segment and that will be helpful in your journey at this. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rashmi. And a big round of applause. Especially for including some stories as well, that is my theme. And for all the table topics. Yo. But then, one of the clients from Pari's previous organization came to know about the situation. He was aware that she is sincere, honest, hardworking. So he offered a partnership in one of this new online venture without investment. Now it was risky, but she had nothing to lose. So she took the chance. She could take care of her mother and work online. You know what? The business thrived in 2 months and she became a successful entrepreneur. In a business meet, she met a man. She became friends and she fell in love in him. He proposed marriage to her. She was confused. Should I or not? But she thought, I have lived for others all these years. Now I should live for myself. And she said, yes. Please conclude the story. But I will not conclude. You will conclude. So I will come to you and you have to conclude the story in 2 or 3 lines. It can be a happy ending, it can be a sad ending, there can be a twist, surprise, that is your choice. So I'll come to those who have not come on stage. So if you have not heard the entire story in the last, any you know, so you can conclude the story. It can be happy, sad, anything, in 2, 3, 4. Yeah. He said yes. Oh, it's a happy relationship. Okay, and ending for the story.
So if she has lived all his life for others,
then, and if she wanted to live for herself, then she should have denied for marriage.
Oh, see, correct, correct. That is the application. Yeah.
Rather than accepting marriage,
So that's an opinion, now
Yeah.
end it, give us conclusion. That's an opinion, now make it a story,
she
conclude.
has done the marriage, and after that, her life spoiled.
Oh, okay.
So she started thinking like, I should have to know this person before accepting marriage proposal. So I should have to delay the marriage.
So now she has a lot of advices to give to others who are not married yet. That is the takeaway for those. You came on stage, okay, and in conclusion, but now no happy and no sad again, different. It can be funny, it can be. She said yes to a marriage. If she was struggling financially, starting that, just give an ending. The story is, she was suffering all these years. She is now thriving. She got a marriage proposal. She said yes. Now give an ending. She said yes. It's not yet closed. Give a 2-3 line conclusion. So as I said earlier, there is. I've already told. So now there's an ending. So a takeaway can be added to your conclusion. Yeah. Oh, okay. What was it? I think the entire. Oh my God. Bad thing or a good thing? Huh? Okay, one more last. Okay, yes.
You take a time like hardship comes and goes, but in hardship, we have to start. That is what.
The takeaway from that. Okay, but what happened after she said? Conclusion to that.
It's a happy ending, even say yes, because somewhere we need to take a stance, we should be yes on that.
Okay, so there's a contradictory statement, marriage, yes, and there is a happy ending. Okay, now one more activity, just a 3-line story will break. 3-line story. Okay, just a 3-line. Okay, we go with some experience. So only 3-line story. No, just a 3-line story. Any story, it can be again any emotion. 3-line story.
Once upon a time, there was a chicken. The chicken went into a cupboard, and the cupboard fell into the well. The moral of story is, if you're a chicken, don't enter the well.
I was crossing the road. I saw him come right towards me. Oh, he looked like $1,000,000. Oh, I thought of giving up on my husband, but I crossed the other road because my husband was waiting. In between, it's all right to look at other people, but go back to where you live. Feel like it.
There was a day, came to the office, and I had my dinner.
Yeah.
Woman falls in love with a man. The wedding night, man gives him, but the man is a vampire. He gives a bite on, and both of them become bad and go to the castle that is called. Moral is be careful.
Be careful. Thank you everyone for participation. Hope you enjoyed the session. Now I would, before I call upon the general evaluator, I would like to call upon the timer to specify the time of the previous speeches. Thank you. announce, I'll write.
PM Ravida, the actual time is 6 minutes 10 seconds. PM Amrita, the overall panel discussion time is 39 minutes 9 seconds. 59 seconds.
So qualified, right?
Yes.
Both are qualified. Woo! Yeah.
For table topic, PM Prasad, 1 minute 59 seconds.
Qualified.
Vinny, 2 minutes 20 seconds. Rita, 1 minute 39 seconds. Pooja, 2 minutes 25 seconds. Yasin, 1 minute 36 seconds. PM Sandhya, okay. So this was a combined story. So I have notified each and every person's timing. PM Sandhya, 1 minute 40 seconds. PM Devi, 1 minute 40 seconds. Guest, I'm forgetting the name, I'm so sorry. Okay. 1 minute 40 seconds.
All qualified.
And Priya, yes, Priya, 2 minutes 30 seconds. Guest, Anjali, 1 minute 34 seconds.
Oh, wow, today all the people. You have been given a feedback slip. This is for the prepared speakers. So please fill it and give it to the respective prepared speakers. It is just for everyone, not for the G. I actually forgot. Okay, so because she could actually say that I have done it before. So let me call upon the general evaluator of the day. Toastmaster Sangeeta should be on stage. Toastmaster Sangeeta Shukri is a double graduate holder. She is personal finance professional and economics educator. I asked her, what's your favorite storytelling medium? Books, movies, or speeches? And if whatever it is, why? She said books. Her words are, they tell me a story, but let me create the characters the way I want them to. So it's books. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sangeeta.
Thank you, Vidya. Lots of energy, huge books for me to step into. Toastmasters friends, namaskar. I am Sangeeta Shukriya, general evaluator. For the benefit of guests, evaluation is the cornerstone of Toastmasters. If I were to say from here, feedback is, and leave it to the audience, trust me, everybody will complete the sentence. Toastmasters do the honor. Feedback is
Breakfast of champions.
breakfast with champions. Toastmasters live by this. Every Toastmaster lives by this setting. So the general evaluation section has 3 parts to it. The first part will be dedicated speech evaluators who came up to read objectives will be evaluating the speeches. Second part is where the timer, the R counter, and the grammarian will be listening to us all day, will tell us how we did in their respective areas. Then the quiz master will come forward and ask us and test us on how actively we've been listening. The third part of the section is me giving an overall evaluation, the miscellaneous section of the general evaluation. Let us move forward in the sections. One thing I love to do whenever I go for speech is to do an audience evaluation of the speech to see how much we retain. The first speech today was given by Toastmaster Rohit as what telling us. So what did he speak about?
Leadership.
He spoke about leadership and what else?
Startup.
Nuance of the speech remembered. First level was to evaluate Toastmaster Rohit as we have a person who's mentored a lot of people in the club who's a charter member of Agnel Toastmasters Club. Again, for the benefit of guest, charter members are people who actually started this club. We have with us distinguished Toastmaster Ron Williams.
Me again. Do you hear me for that? Okay. Toastmasters, dear guests and Toastmaster audience. This speech title is Leading Through Collaboration. Can somebody tell me what is the tagline of Toastmasters?
Where leaders are the leaders.
Where leaders are made. Leadership is a very important part of Toastmasters. When we do projects on leadership,
It's also about finding out what kind of leaders we are, what kind of leaders we want to be in the future as well. So these projects are very important from the leadership point of view. Not only from the giving the speech itself, but identifying your strengths and weaknesses. So these projects are very important. Most of the writers tackle the project on leadership styles. First, the things which I really noticed which were well for most of the writers. First of all, Rohidas was very confident on stage, very positive, good energy, good voice. Everybody could hear him at the back, correct? Yes, and he had excellent eye contact, and he really felt like he was communicating with the audience fully. So that was a very big plus. The delivery was excellent. That's a positive for me. You also use some personal examples in the narration that you used. Is also very beautiful. Stories connect, personal stories connect even more. That's a very important tool when you are communicating with the audience. Also, you have a lot of audience interaction points. This is very important. If you just stand here and narrate, do not connect with the audience through a session or any kind of interaction, then you don't have that kind of interaction. You ask a couple of, 3 or 4 places he asked questions to the audience. So good interaction. So these are the points which I like about your speech. You're a good speaker that way, and I like the way you presented yourself. However, coming to the parts which are the important part of the content. Now, when time came on stage, I was listening intently, understand what you understood about your own leadership and leadership in general. Throughout the speech, I was wondering when you would get to the crux of the matter. You went through a lot of different twists and turns. You went through a metaphor about the tadka, the different flavors, talking about the different kinds of person related to each flavor. But somewhere, as I was listening, I just couldn't get the leadership angle. I couldn't understand. You mentioned one line about your leadership is collaborative, and then you didn't say anything further about it. You described a lot of different types of people, not different types of leaders. So overall, I was sitting and saying, no, I'm not getting the leadership which I expect from this project. So in terms of the speech, it was a nice speech, it was interesting, but I don't feel the objectives were met strictly when you talk about leadership. So this is my personal opinion and my personal recommendation that attempt this project again. Really think about what leadership means to you in your life. When did leadership impact you? How did leadership impact you? How did you become the leader you are today? And maybe with a few examples from your personal life, from some leaders that you admire, put it all together in a good structure, and that would be really great for all of us. So my recommendation is also the delivery was nice, content-wise, is not being but I commend you as always, coming up on stage, giving a speech. Can you give a round of applause?
You would fee for evaluation at Toastmasters, then yes. The evaluation will be given to you, you will be given feedback, will be told areas to improve, but none of it comes wham and hits you. It's all delivered encouragingly, motivating. Hence, growth is a very natural part of a Toastmasters journey. Now, we spoke about project that Toastmasters we do, various things we want to do. It's not just about giving speeches, it's about communication in different ways. One of the ways to communicate or learn communicate is to assemble a panel and conduct a panel discussion, which is what Toastmaster Amrita will do. And for the benefit of your members, I guess I would like to say, the people sitting here on panel were people many a Toastmaster is in awe of. And she conducted it with such grace. But to give you further evaluation, I will call upon the dedicated evaluator for a project, someone who's been a past district officer, someone who's been past member in running this club, a senior Toastmaster Sanesh.
The panel discussion in a Toastmasters meeting is something which happens once in a blue. And today we were able to see that. When a panelist, a moderator, calls upon the panelists, it takes longer time. Planning happens more than maybe 1 month, 2 months back. The moderator reaches out to the panelists and blocks that time. And we are very thankful to the people who took up their time from Western Lines, from the end of Central Line and from Harbour Line, taking time and coming over here and sharing that experience. What I like about Toastmasters Amrita's today's role as a facilitator for panel discussion is the first thing is her appearance. We often say that the first impression is the last impression. And today when I look into the room, she definitely stands out just like Oprah Winfrey. She is someone who is with her dressing code that she's come here for a very serious discussion. And we love to have that Toastmaster. The way the seats were arranged over there and she stood by the side. Somewhere that depicted she wanted the panelists to be the showstopper. And that's how the whole session was conducted. The second thing which I liked about Toastmaster Amrita was the crisp questions which were asked to the panelists and the seamless transition happened between the different panelists. She asked the first question to one of the panelists. The second question was again a chance for the other panelists to attempt first. There was a rotation of the sequence of the panelists. Again, she asked at the beginning to the audience, have you heard about panel discussion? So that was a good way to engage the audience. And when she concluded, she took out points from the panel discussion and said that what were the takeaways from each of the panelists for her. Now, let me give a couple of recommendations as an audience, as an evaluator, what I felt the session could have been better. The one thing which I would have liked is more stage time for you as well. Like we all seen on the one of the person, but I'm not able to recollect that India wants to know. So what is your anchor? I know something like that. The Agnel Toastmasters wants to know from distinguished Toastmaster Agnel. Or maybe the District 98 wants to know from Sony. So what is that your plan? Again, if I look from it, there are a lot of anecdotes which were brought by the panelists. For example, LS, listening, speaking, reading. So maybe these things could have been brought at the end to again emphasize what are the takeaways from the session. So that I felt that as a moderator, your presence is also built in. That's something I would suggest for you if you're taking up for the next time. We had an amazing panelist, and again, kudos to you. As a panelist, it is important, as a moderator, it is important that you should be able to bring people who have that domain knowledge and they should agree to come. When you are able to bring in Avira, Sunita, and Sony, people who are now in communication, leadership, and branding space, it shows that you have created that network with them where they are ready to come. So this was also exhibition of your networking skill and the things which you are able to do behind the stage, which allowed you to connect such a seamless panel discussion today. And to conclude, I will say you met the project with the flying colors. Thank you and all the best.
Experience shows and it shows. This is the experienced Toastmaster evaluating an unusual project, not your run-of-the-mill speeches. For the second segment, let us go on and listen to people who've been listening to us all day. So let us start off with our timers report, like on Toastmaster Ruchi. If you're all wondering why everybody refers to the full name, say Toastmaster Ruchi, because we have more than one Ruchi in the club now. So over to our and face the audience, stand on stage, you read out, I read out. Toastmaster on 3 minutes 17 seconds. Toastmaster Sunny 3 minutes 29 seconds. Now we call on the person who's been listening to every pause we've taken. They are counters for the win.
Thank you. Usually great speakers start from there. Once we notice our leader, that is the first step towards our intelligence. And don't worry, I am and nobody here to judge. I help you to improve
you as a great speaker. So starting with speaker Rohit, you have 2 hours, but you have a very wonderful Tadka. Then Toastmaster Amruta has 2 shows, one. Then Toastmaster Sunita has 2 hours. Toastmaster Avinash has 2 shows, 2 then 1 hour. Specifically, I will mention our guest, I think recently is Prasad. You have 10 hours, but you have a very great voice. And so if you practice like pausing for money, then you will be a great speaker. Then Vinith has 3 hours, 1 show. Thank you.
There's a public speaking, it's content and diction. We covered diction with our counter. Now let us cover content and language with our grammarian for the day, whose attention at time gets Toastmaster Sandhya.
Good evening, everyone. So in today's meeting, we witnessed some good usage of the language. Let me start with some good usage of words. So they were introspect, engrossed, rationalize, captivating, fragmented, rubicon, food, paradigm shift, proximity, apprehension, and glossophobia. There was some incorrect usage of language as well. So someone said she is done with marriage. Should have been she is married. Then it was it is not the term to use. It should have been it is not the right term to use. Someone sitting in the seat should have been someone sitting on the bench. The last one, which are people living in castle? It should have been who is living in the castle. At the end, unfortunately, not many people use word of the day and phrase of the day. So it was only Toastmaster Rohidas and Toastmaster Tanesh used word of the day, and phrase of the day was used by Toastmaster. Thank you.
Before we move ahead, long meetings we've gone through, is everybody comfortable? Yes? Time to get uncomfortable because the person coming next is a quiz master. That person is going to test how much and what you have been listening to all day. So to put you all in one corner, I'm going to call out Toastmaster Jay.
I've heard of a thing called as the red card theory. But we have come on the end, right? So you can't hear till the end. So the red card theory says that if someone asks you to spot the red cards that you have seen, say today, while coming to your house, you most probably won't remember them. But if someone says that you will be given, say, 100 rupees for every car that you spot, red car, then most probably you will count them and you will be able to answer that. And the psychology behind this is when you put your attention to a purpose, to something which you focus, you will be able to get it. So that's the red card theory. And that is what I underwent today by being the quiz master. Because otherwise, you just sit through and go through and finish it. But then if you have to ask questions on what they have said, then you better be listening. That is what I did today. So you
questions to start with. This is for the new members, people who are planning to join Toastmasters. Someone said there are people who are observing you constantly. How many people are observing you? Yes, 5 people. 5 people. So that's something important for people who want to join. There is attention given here. Okay, so this again was already asked. Toastmaster Rohidas, he was speaking on a subject. What was the full subject of it? Leadership
with collaboration.
with collaboration. Toastmaster Rashid spoke about 4 aspects of impromptu speaking. Can anyone stand up and say? There are 4 things. No, not the one. No, I'm talking about the people who are new or relatively new. Right. It is like first is speak. When you come here, start to speak on a new subject. What is it that you want to do? Speak. Thinking. Then, second, organizing, improvising, delivering. So these were the 4 aspects she spoke about: thinking, organizing, improvising, and delivering. So that is what was for the impromptu speaking. Then we'll have a couple of questions which are like the trivial ones, and Toastmaster Vidya is not supposed to answer them because these are a little trivial ones. What is the name of the main character of a story? Pari. That's correct. Now tell me, at what age did Pari lose her father? 50. That was really good. So your story was really powerful. I wasn't expecting this.
I'm not surprised.
Then you have, okay, what's the tagline of Toastmasters? The veterans are not supposed to be. You guys, Toastmasters is where? Where people are made. So remember that even if you are aspiring to join. Then there's one framework Avinash spoke about. LSRW, equal reading writing. Yeah, someone said that. Repeat it. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. Right, that's right. One more question. Someone spoke about a novel. It was like guest Urza. Yeah. Yes. So the overall listening skills have been good. Okay, so one more thing. In the starting of the discussion, roundtable discussion, Toastmaster Sunita said the earlier communication was what kind of it? Broadcasting. Versus what are we now into? Engaging. Right. So I think that's all from my side. I think you guys have been listening attentively.
Listening, learning, talking, and everything done, we reach the third section, which is the general evaluatory section, which is what? How the meeting generally went on. First things first, we started on time, which is good news. Even if we do it every time, it is every time a good news. So great round of applause to everybody here. The general evaluation was supposed to be given the handover at 7:18. I got the handover to section at 7:22. So still good news. We were running on agenda throughout. So good. We are mindful of time. Let me start from the beginning. Sergeant at Arms came on stage, set the tone for the meeting. Good job. I would like to see a little more energy, especially because I know it's a very energetic. Going on, we have our presiding officer for today, who's also the Vice President of Education for the benefit of guests. Vice President Education, Sergeant Town of the clubs, President, these are the people who run the club, who run the day-to-day activities. So they are done a lot backstage. So when I say I would like a little more energy from our presiding officer, it is ignoring the fact that he's been running around organizing this for a year. Moving on to the Toastmaster of the day. Members know, for the guests and new members, I tell you, if there is one word you can associate with this Toastmaster, it is not party, it is energy. Pure explosion of energy is Toastmaster Vidya. And today was a must class in how to be a Toastmaster of the day. You need to be engaging, you need to be energetic, otherwise the meeting is not energetic. And she taught us by doing, which is the best way to teach. Two round of applause for her. She shifted into every topic conversationally. She engaged everybody. One small recommendation I have is not for all, but when you talk about the person first, take the name last. So that the person isn't standing here when we are speaking. Once the person comes on stage, we hand over and move. So the way to introduce is say whatever you want to say about the person, take the name of the person last. This is a little bit recommendation for all of us when we take up such roles. Going on to our tag team, great job. Newbies told Timer has done the role for the first time. Yes, great effort. Our founder is also relatively new on Toastmaster. Are you taking the role for the first time? Second time, still good job. Agnel is no longer in Toastmaster. She's a novel head. Still good job done. One request I would have for our grammarian is to explain things like raising your thumb when somebody uses word of the day, phrase of the day, especially in an open house, because then guests would know why somebody is reacting. And an inclusive environment is more welcoming, I think. Moving on to our quiz master, great job. I didn't know Master Jay is listening so well. I didn't know we all listened so well. It's quite demonstrated. Very nice job. A little bit recommendation for all of us. When we are doing something in the first half of the meeting, where the Toastmaster of the day is running the show, it's a good idea to keep our eye on her when we are on stage in case she's signaling something to you. Same way if you're part of the general evaluators team, good idea to the general evaluator if they're signaling something to you. Every role has a time in the agenda, and it is highly recommended that the role player take only that much time so that the agenda doesn't get delayed. This is for all of us. And for the club, one more request I would have is if we could have the script of the quizmaster laminated like we have other scripts laminated. So it's easier for the quizmaster to introduce their role. I would also request club members to kindly note to move in and out of the room only when there is a floor and not when there is a speaker on stage. You never know who's on stage and who might get disturbed, and that's not the quizmaster. I would request most of us to, all of us to not use abbreviations like PMOD or PM Novitas, let us say Toastmaster Novitas or Toastmaster today, especially at an open house, because then the guests will start feeling, God is what is the governance. So let us not give them that. Even otherwise, not using abbreviations is a good idea. I have some general feedback for table topic speeches. Let us not pace all the time. That only dissipates attention. We can use the stage, but constant pacing, not a good idea. Also, maybe we could use experimental table topics with members and not with guests, because the idea is for guests to start exploring and be a little more encouraging with them. I have very serious feedback for the panel discussion. I tried very hard, but couldn't come up with more than one word. And the one word I came up with was delight. It was an absolute delight. Thanks to all senior Toastmasters who participated and made it so good. Finally, feedback for all the guests here. Thank you for landing up at our invitation. Thank you for participating and thank you for making our open house such a great success. You've done a great job today and all Toastmasters are very grateful. With that, I hand it over back to our ball of energy, our Toastmaster today, Toastmaster Vijay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sangeeta. Give a big round of applause. We are all here, but improve our communication skills and leadership skills, right? What is one way we can enhance our communication and leadership skills? What is that one way?
Storytelling.
Storytelling, of course, today I just asked that. How can Toastmasters help us in this? There are 11 pathways in Toastmasters. Pathways means they are personalized educational tracks. Now, in each pathway, there are around 5 levels, and in each level, sorry, yes, I'm wrong. Oh, now only 6 pathways. Okay, it was older version. Now only 6 pathways, and around 5 levels, and each level has 3 to 4 speeches. That is projects. Now, when you give these speeches, you're encouraged, inspired, and motivated by your mentors, fellow Toastmasters, evaluators to add stories, anecdotes, examples. So that will enhance your connection with the audience. They will relate to you. And this storytelling we will use outside Toastmasters. I understood and got interested in storytelling from Toastmasters. It is said, good stories happen when you can tell them. So, fellow Toastmasters, are we all ready to continue to tell these stories?
Yes.
All the guests, are you ready to join this journey to tell the stories?
Yes.
Woo! It's also said that good storytellers can rule the world. So, are we all ready to rule the world by telling stories?
Yes.
Impromptu. I know time we are short of time, but I was told that she makes everyone dance. So I want this section. It's impromptu and not related, but we are creating stories. So this section will just like make music, and this section will dance. Okay, sitting and dancing. Okay, if this section will so now we will dance. There's some signing officer for today's meeting, Toastmasters Ramesh. I should not announce the name first, sorry. I'll remember this next time. He has done B in mechanical. He's a static equipment engineer with 19 years of experience. I asked him, do you prefer stories with happy ending or ones that leave you thinking? So he's not happy with that one option. He said happy ending with a big twist to the plot, which makes you curious to know more. So he wants everything in a story. Let's welcome presiding officer Toastmasters.
Dr. Vidya. So as Toastmaster Sangeeta indicated that she's a ball of energy. So when anybody comes before or after her, that person's energy looks down. So we will have the polls. Have the link been shared with you in the group?
The link is shared with the guests.
Okay, so guys, Koina has shared the link and you can put the polling for the best. The poll is for the best evaluator, for the best tabletop speaker, for the best victory role players, and for the best tabletop. Auxiliary. So while you do that, I would like to share a few points. First is that tomorrow we have this Toastmasters leadership training program. So we had this one leadership training program earlier, couple of weeks back, and tomorrow we have one more session. So anybody who missed yesterday can join, last 2 weeks back, can join tomorrow. Suchi and Sandeep are going. So you can join them and take this training. It will be helpful for all the people who want to be ex-com members, who want to be future ex-com members. You will come to know about the contest and you come to know about Polo Toastmasters. So everybody, I will request whoever can join tomorrow. And if not possible, we will have probably one more session online, and that more session also can be, you can join that session. So this was one point. Second point is that we'll be having our next meeting on 15th of this month. So around the same location, fourth floor. So request you to join for that meeting also. And just one more point I want to note, tell you is that last week we had a outdoor meeting, and we would like to thank Toastmaster Rajesh and Rohidas for organizing. And also everybody came together. It was a great success for our staff. All the polls are done. So while the polls are being held, I would like the guests to give their feedback. I would just in one or two words, can you just give us a feedback about how you felt about our meeting? Feedback, overall feedback about our meeting.
It was very good. It was really nice challenge. Thank you so much.
I didn't expect this much, like I thought like there would be a speech and that just be valid. But this was like storytelling was the totally was the people don't say they can understand, so it was too much deep. It's how we have to analyze, how we have to interpret, how the evaluation we have given our able to take from everything, from evaluation to the speech for their everything is get some insight.
Because it was very so how we have presented whether it was a confidence or whether it was not, but they managed to speak better. So otherwise,
Learning process one, I'm looking forward to the one next.
Writing.
But obviously, but
It was very good and lots of things to take away from the session.
So now, you know, the whole actually, back of the day, and to find out level learning.
After the meeting, how many people are ready to join? Raise your hand. Because, yeah. What's the best auxiliary role player according to you? That is between Suchi, Sandhya, Sandeep, and James. What was the
He said,
Best table topic speaker. Any guesses? Best table topic speaker. These three we have been given individually. The names are given individually. Any guesses? Toastmaster Libby. Fourth year. That is between the channel coordinator, table topic master, and Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day. And best graduator. Is it Spanish or not? Toastmaster, another distinguished Toastmaster. Hope you guys enjoyed the meeting. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So, I just took the meeting. I request everybody come on stage, start the program.